Unearthing Hidden Prophecies, an epic journey into the sacred wisdom of Shinto. I never expected a single dream to change everything. Yet, there I stood, trembling in the depths of a mist-covered forest, heart racing. It was a place whispered about in hushed tones, where the veil between the seen and unseen was gossamer thin. Leaves rustled, whispering secrets of ancient deities. The air hummed with energy, pulling me deeper into a world ripe with mystery. I had come seeking answers, pulled by that dream that felt less like a figment and more like a calling. My nights were haunted by images of shrines bathed in ethereal light, towering trees that seemed to stretch toward infinity, and waves of shimmering energy that washed over me like a warm embrace. Each night was a spell, wrapping around my conscious mind, demanding my attention. But now, standing beneath the arching branches, doubt clutched at my chest. What had I been looking for? Here, with the smell of wet earth all around, I felt both wonderfully alive and utterly lost. A sudden rustle broke the heavy silence, and my heart leapt. Was it merely the wind? Or was it something more? The sun played coyly with the horizon, casting streaks of gold and crimson. Shadows danced, and I could swear they whispered my name, beckoning me to follow. I tried to shake off the sensations, to ground myself, but the air felt electric, crackling with potential. My thoughts spiraled out, swirling like leaves caught in an autumn gust. It was in that moment I noticed a feather, perfectly pristine and white, resting on a tuft of moss. I picked it up, fingers brushing against its delicate surface, feeling an overwhelming sense of peace wash over me. Was it a sign? The thought sent shivers down my spine. All around me, the world felt alive, the trees breathing, the stones watching, and I was merely a visitor in a sacred realm of forgotten prophecies. I inhaled deeply, the smell of nature enveloping me. It was rich, alive, and spoke of ancient stories whispering in the winds. As if in response, the feather pulsed with warmth, a heartbeat against my palm. Uncertainty clawed at my mind. What did it mean? What was I meant to discover here? The shadows tightened their grip, threatening to consume me. I quietly questioned my journey. Was this a path to enlightenment or merely a descent into madness? The fluttering leaves would not offer an answer. All around me, life continued, yet I felt suspended in a moment heavy with unseen possibilities, and then, just as I was caught in a whirlwind of thoughts, the air around me shifted. A soft, melodic chant reached my ears, seemingly born from nowhere. It drew me closer, pulling me like a moth to a flame. I yearned to discover the source, yet doubt and fear intertwined like ivy around my heart. What was waiting at the end of this path? I took a tentative step forward, uncertainty whispering in my ear. What awaited me in this dance of shadows and light? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The chant swirled around me like a soft breeze, ethereal yet charged with an ineffable power that beckoned me further into the depths of the forest. I could not resist its summons, my feet gliding over the damp earth, entranced by the melodic call that seemed to weave through the very fabric of the woods. Each step drew me deeper, beyond the threshold of my own hesitations, into an embrace that felt both unsettling and exhilarating. As I navigated the winding path, the trees loomed taller, their trunks knotted with the memories of ages past. My fingers grazed their coarse bark, it felt warm under my touch, alive with the stories of souls who had stood where I stood, seeking, questioning, dreaming. What wisdom did they glean from this sacred space? What trials had forged their understanding of the unseen? The air thickened with the weight of expectation, every breath a testament to the depth of my search. And then, a bright flash caught my eye, shimmering against the muted hues of twilight. I squinted to focus and saw a small clearing ahead, aglow with an otherworldly light. The melody intensified, and as I stepped into the clearing, awe washed over me. Before me stood an ancient stone shrine, draped in moss and illuminated by dozens of flickering lanterns. They danced in the breeze like fireflies caught in a trance. The stones, seemingly etched with symbols of yore, exuded an energy that resonated deeply within me. I could feel it vibrating in my chest, guiding me toward a reckoning of sorts. Suddenly, the melody transformed, harmonizing with the natural sounds enveloping the shrine. The rustling leaves began to move in time with the chant, creating a symphony that surged through the very roots of the earth. I was no longer just an onlooker, I was immersed in a ritual that transcended time. Drawn to the shrine, I approached cautiously. Upon its stone altar rested an assortment of offerings, fruits, flowers, and what appeared to be delicate trinkets carved from wood and bone. Each item radiated a story of devotion, as if those who had come before had poured their hopes into this sacred space, entrusting their fears and wishes to the divine. In that moment, clarity broke through like the dawn. I took a deep breath, my heart steadying as if acknowledging the depth of intention behind such offerings. What was it I could offer in return? Could it be my doubts? My unanswered questions? I knelt down, placing the feather I had found upon the altar, a token of my journey thus far, a promise to be present in the unfolding. As I rose, a gentle breeze brushed against me, and the chant shifted to one of peace, a reassurance that I was part of something greater than my transient worries. Each note echoed a profound understanding, teaching me to surrender to the process of exploration. I realized that the mystery of my path would not simply be solved, it would be discovered, layer by layer, like peeling back the segments of a fragile fruit. However, in the midst of this revelation, I felt a flicker of concern. Was I prepared to face the truths the universe gently unfolded? The shadows within the clearing shifted, hinting at the obscured parts of my soul, the aspects I had yet to confront. With this realization tightening around my heart, I stepped back from the altar, breathless. The glow of the lanterns flickered erratically as if responding to my uncertainty. What did I truly seek? Was it clarity, peace, or something far more elusive? With those questions hanging in the air, the forest fell into an expectant silence. I stood at the edge of uncharted territory, recognizing that every path leads to further questions rather than definitive answers. I was yet again a seeker, left to ponder, what truths lie dormant, waiting to be discovered in the embrace of the sacred. The air shifted as I lingered in the clearing, and a sense of anticipation thrummed through my veins. The colors of twilight deepened, casting a palette of indigo and sapphire across the horizon, while the last remnants of daylight painted the shrine in a surreal glow. I had been granted a glimpse into the reverent past, yet it felt as though time was about to reveal its secrets anew. The melody, once a guide, began to shift into varied tones, fluctuating between lament and joy, each note twisting like a vine around my heart. With the twilight shadows drawing closer, I felt a stirring beneath the surface of my skin, a whisper of an ancient truth yearning to emerge. As I looked deeper into the shrine, its intricacies unfolded, every facet seemed imbued with life, the stones pulsing like a heartbeat in unison with my own. If stirred from slumber, the air hummed once more, and I heard soft footsteps approaching. From the depths of the forest emerged an elder, clad in robes that seemed woven from the very essence of the woods themselves. His demeanor radiated tranquility, his eyes mirrored the wisdom of countless seasons, and his presence commanded reverence. I felt it an intrinsic knowing that he was a custodian of the sacred. "Welcome, seeker," he greeted, his voice rolling like gentle thunder through the clearing. "You stand at the threshold of understanding, yet deeper revelations await you." Each word resonated with a harmonious clarity, and I found myself drawn to him, eager to learn from his apparent depth of knowledge. "I encountered this sacred shrine," I replied, gesturing toward the altar. "But I am lost among my own inquiries." "What is it that I truly seek?" The elder smiled, his expression enigmatic, as he glanced at the offerings on the altar. But understanding isn't found in pursuit alone. It dwells in the very depths of experience, even there among those unanswered longings." He motioned for me to kneel once more before the shrine. "Listen to the whispers of your heart, they are the echoes of your truth." Kneeling, I closed my eyes and breathed deeply, trying to attune to the energy swirling around me. I could feel the pulse of the earth beneath me, each heartbeat resonating with the stories of those who had come before. Then, images flickered behind my eyelids, fragments of lives entwined with the forest, people who whispered their dreams to the stones, weaving their narratives into the very fabric of this sacred place. The elder's voice broke through the visions, pulling me back into the present. In sharing, you become the vessel through which the ancient prophecies breathe life anew. Do you recognize the patterns echoing around you? What is the thread that connects your journey with those who have sacrificed before? A question posed, yet the answer danced just out of reach. I pondered the intricate web of lives interwoven with my own. Had I not felt compelled, year after year, to return to places that whispered my name? Was it not the same yearning that bound generations, the search for truth in the heart of nature's embrace? Your quest is multifaceted, it stretches beyond the confines of this realm, the elder continued. You must seek the truths lying hidden within your own shadows. Each step forward will yield reflection. As you resonate, you will unlock the prophecy of your existence, intertwined with the sacred. I opened my eyes, the weight of his words heavy yet enlightening. But how can I confront what I fear to acknowledge? What lies hidden might shatter the fragile constructs I built. Sometimes, the heart must shatter to allow the light to seep through. Embrace your vulnerability as sacred. It is within that space that transformation thrives, he counseled, a serene aura emanating from him like the calm after a storm. As I absorbed the elder's wisdom, I felt the shadows coalesce around me, no longer threatening but coaxing me to look closer. They whispered of grief, of joy, of every emotion buried beneath layers of fear, an invitation to explore the truth that lay waiting in the unseen depths. With gratitude, I rose to my feet, newfound resolve igniting within. I will return to this place, not just for answers but to sift through my shadows, until the hidden prophecies reveal themselves. The elder bowed his head, a gesture of acknowledgement. Then may your journey unfold not only outside but deep within, illuminating the spaces where discovery converges with the unknown. Remember, clarity is a journey, not a destination. As he faded into the background of the emerald foliage, the chant returned, echoing new iambs of wisdom with each heartbeat. I stood once more at the edge of the sacred, my spirit buoyant yet contemplative, aware that I could no longer tread the path alone, and there, with the weight of my convictions pressing against my soul, I reflected, what if the quest for understanding was an invitation to dwell in both the light and the darkness? How do we honor the shadows of our past while simultaneously forging a path toward the brilliance of our truths? The questions lingered, swirling like the melody of the forest, each one a thread in the equally delicate tapestry of my journey ahead. As I stepped away from the shrine and the elder's profound presence, the forest around me seemed to awaken, the rustling leaves sharing their secrets in a hushed symphony. A soft breeze carried the lingering echoes of joy and lament, urging me forward, yet I felt an equal pull to reflect upon the wisdom imparted by the custodian of the sacred. The impression of his serene gaze remained etched in my mind, the weight of his words resting heavily on my heart. Clarity is a journey, not a destination. The path beneath my feet curled deeper into the forest, inviting me to explore further. My senses heightened, I noticed the vibrant intricacies of life surrounding me, fluttering wings of a butterfly, the rhythmic patter of distant water, and the patterns etched on the bark of ancient trees. In their presence, I recognized a shared message of resilience and renewal. Each step resonated with a purpose, as though the earth itself was guiding my movements. I wondered if there were still more signs to receive, more messages hidden in the embrace of nature. The encounter with the elder left me yearning not only for understanding but for a connection with every story this landscape had ever known. Ahead, the sound of flowing water beckoned a stream, perhaps, that would serve as a natural companion on my journey. The forest seemed to narrow, and as I approached, the fragrance of damp earth and wildflowers enveloped me, harmonizing with the gentle melody of the stream. Kneeling by its edge, I traced the glistening surface with my fingertips, feeling each delicate ripple echo the heartbeat of the sacred. At that moment, while I marveled at the interplay of light and shadow on the water, a sudden vision swept over me. Images rushed forth, cascading like the stream itself, flickers of my past intertwined with snippets of history, faces smiling and weeping, opportunities embraced, and dreams unfulfilled. I felt the weight of generations as they murmured their wisdom, urging me to listen more closely. In that voice of intuition, I heard the primal teachings of my ancestors reminding me that I am but a thread in the ongoing tapestry of existence. Their gifts, their struggles, and their joy echoed through my being. It became clear, my questions were not solitary. They belong to a greater tapestry, a shared endeavor of souls passing through this transient world. Suddenly, a sense of urgency stirred within me. I picked up a small smooth stone from the streambed, firm and cool in my hand, and let my heart ponder an ancient truth. Stones, too, were keepers of stories and witnesses to time. In their silence, they absorbed the vibrations of the earth and our lives. What secrets had they witnessed? What wisdom were they ready to impart? As I held the stone close, I felt a shift in my perception, and the stream began to mirror not only my reflection but the essence of those who had come and gone, each ripple telling their tale. I closed my eyes, sinking deeper into the stillness, allowing the current of my thoughts to flow like the water. What would it be like to bear witness to my own life's unraveling? I pondered, wrestling with the notion that the shadows of my past were not adversaries but rather allies in the learning process. The layers of my own narrative began to unwind in my mind's eye, illuminating paths I had not yet walked, nor dreamed to explore. After some time, a sudden gasp jolted me from my reverie. A small Creaturia fox stood at the edge of the clearing, its eyes bright and inquisitive. It seemed to study me, both cautious and curious, as if assessing the essence of my spirit. In its gaze, I felt an unspoken connection, a flicker of recognition that resonated deep within the core of my being. The animal turned and, with a swift and graceful motion, bounded into the thicket, inspiring me to trust in my own instincts and intuition. Stirred by the encounter, I rose from the water's edge with profound intention. The search for hidden prophecies required me to move beyond mere observation. It demanded active engagement with the dance of existence. I vowed to return to the shadows not as a conquered foe but as a collaborator in unveiling the layers that formed my identity. Conversing with the ancestral stories, intertwining with the energy of the sacred, I could not help but wonder, how many more signs were waiting in the silence? What personal revelations were resting in the depths of my own shadows, beckoning me to venture deeper still? And as I ventured forth once more into the heart of the forest, I asked the universe, what secrets await those brave enough to embrace their entire narrative, both light and dark, in the sacred journey toward self-discovery? The forest thickened as I journeyed deeper, the air laced with an earthy musk that spoke of life, decay, and renewal intertwined. It began to feel less like a journey through space and more like an exploration through time. Each step echoed with the energies of those who had walked before me, spirits of the forest that seemed to guide my way, directing me toward a deeper understanding. Suddenly, I stumbled upon a clearing, framed by towering cedar trees that stood like sentinels against the vast sky. In their midst, a weathered stone altar lay partially hidden beneath a blanket of moss, its presence both inviting and imposing. I approached cautiously, the whispers of the wind carrying stories from ages long gone, urging me to acknowledge its significance. As I knelt beside the altar, I noticed intricate carvings adorning its surface, symbols of the sun, moon, and elements, each intertwined in a dance of yin and yang. My fingers traced the patterns, feeling the warmth of the sun still lingering in the stone. An overwhelming sense of awe washed over me, echoing the revelations of my previous encounters. This altar was a nexus of energies, a meeting point for those who sought communion with the universe. Whispers stirred around me, almost audible, as if the very air vibrated with untold stories. I closed my eyes, centering myself, allowing the ambient sounds to merge into a singular heartbeat. What messages awaited me here? What hidden prophecies lurked beneath the surface, waiting for an open heart to decipher? In a flash of insight, I envisioned the trees as libraries, their roots delving deep into history, their branches reaching towards wisdom. It became clear that this clearing was not just a physical space, but a threshold bridging the earthly and the divine. A place where intentions could be set in motion. Drawing a breath as deep as the forest's silence, I spoke my intentions aloud. Guide me to the understanding I seek. Reveal to me the secrets cloaked in my shadows and illuminate the path forward. The wind danced around me, and as the energy surged through the clearing, a vision flickered to life in the recesses of my mind. I saw a path diverging into multiple directions, each branch representing choices and experiences, some shrouded in fog while others sparkled with light. In those moments, I understood that clarity was not about finding a single truth but navigating the beautiful complexities of existence, embracing every twist and turn as part of my own unfolding story. My heart raced as I regained awareness of my surroundings. I was no longer alone. Emerging from the edges of the clearing, a small procession of animals appeared: deer, rabbits, and even a pair of striking hawks circling overhead. Each creature paused, fixated on me, as if they, too, bore their own messages and wisdom. In their eyes, I found a reflection of my own quest for understanding, a reminder that every living being possesses its truth, woven intricately into nature's grand tapestry. With purpose, I placed a hand on the altar, sending my energy into the stone. The air thickened with anticipation, as if the forest held its breath, waiting for a sign of recognition. I felt a warm glow spread from my palm, igniting the dormant symbols into brilliant colors, each hue revealing pieces of my journey's puzzle. Just then, an unexpected chill swept through the clearing, the whispers altering in intensity and focus. A shiver coursed through me, linking my heartbeat to the pulse of the earth. What was this shift? Were the spirits attempting to communicate? Was there something even deeper they wished to share? As I opened my eyes to the world around me, a single feather danced down from the hawks above, landing at my feet. Its vibrant plumage shimmered, drawing me closer. I reached down, feeling the softness of its fibers, symbols of freedom and transcendence, urging me to release any tentacles of attachment still gripping my spirit. Caught in this moment of reflection, I realized the feather represented multiple messages: freedom to fly beyond limitations, encouragement to explore uncharted territories of my soul, and a reminder that every being is interconnected in the web of existence. With newfound clarity, I pondered the essence of my past choices and their role in shaping my present. Did I possess the courage to embrace the lessons hidden within my shadows, the call to honor every aspect of my journey? Or was I still skimming the surface, fearful of the depths beneath? As I turned to leave the clearing, a new awareness settled within me. The forest whispered yet another question, one that would linger and tease my mind as I ventured forth. What does it mean to truly witness the dance of life, embracing both the luminous threads and the darker shades that hold their own kind of beauty? The trail ahead twisted and turned, weaving in and out of silhouettes cast by the late afternoon sun. Each step felt deliberate, as if guided by unseen hands, pulling me deeper into a narrative written long before my arrival. The energy of the forest seemed to pulse around me, a living entity woven with the whispers of ancient spirits and the rhythm of nature. As I walked, I felt a gentle tug at my heart, a reminder that inside every creature and plant, stories lay nestled in their very essence. It was in the branches of the trees where dreams took root, in the soil where passions fed and flourished. I closed my eyes for a moment, allowing the sounds of the forest to envelop me: rustling leaves, the distant call of a songbird, the soft murmur of a stream nearby, flowing gracefully, a reminder of the ever-changing course of life. After some time, I felt drawn toward the sound of water, crisp and clear. I followed the call, and soon the ground beneath my feet softened, giving way to a small brook shimmering under the sun. Its presence was magnetic, a translucent ribbon winding through the earth, inviting me to join its dance. I approached cautiously, kneeling at its edge, captivated by how it carved through the land, shaping itself to overcome obstacles, yet remaining true to its essence. The brook sparkled invitingly, and as I dipped my fingers into its cool water, a sensation washed over me, grounding yet gentle. I was suddenly pulled into a vision. My reflection shimmered in the surface, but it was clouded. Hidden layers of my being danced beneath the water, beckoning me to look deeper. Who was the person beneath the surface, unfiltered by the world's expectations? Was I truly seeing myself, or merely a reflection of the image I wished to present? With curiosity welling in my chest, I held a handful of the water, allowing it to slip through my fingers like memories. Each drop appeared to carry with it fragments of the past, the subconscious fears, the dreams long buried, the love I had doubted. It seemed each ripple communicated a truth waiting to be embraced. In the depths of this quiet moment, I noticed a flicker of movement in the corner of my eye. A small frog hopped along the brook's edge, pausing to look at me with its wide, knowing eyes. There was something ancient and wise in its gaze, as if it guarded stories from realms I had yet to uncover. I felt a kinship with this creature, a reminder that sometimes transformation required deep dives into muddied waters before emerging anew, cleansed and renewed. Is it enough to simply uncover what lies within? I mused aloud, voicing a thought that had grown roots deep within me. Or must I also learn to weave those truths into the tapestry of my existence, acknowledging the darkness that may accompany the light? The forest seemed to respond, the brook bubbling excitedly as if affirming my inquiry. The frog turned and hopped away, leaving me alone with the flowing current, with the whispered teachings that came from its depths. Moments passed, during which I contemplated the ephemeral nature of time, how the brook's journey mirrored my own. Each twist and turn, every rock that impeded its flow, only contributed to the landscape it carved. What blockages lay ahead in my journey? What stillness was I resisting that might offer clarity? And would I have the wisdom to recognize the blessings hidden within each challenge? Drifting back into the serenity of the moment, I took my time by the brook, allowing the sounds and sights to cradle my spirit. Yet, even as I savored the peace, I felt the lingering weight of questions pressing ever more insistently. What path still awaited me, enriched by the courage to face my own reflections? What truths remained unstated, lingering in the air like soft melodies waiting for someone to sing them aloud? And most poignantly, what would it mean to accept not just the light, but the entire canvas of my being, the shadowed hues that joined the radiant colors in an intricate dance? Rising from the brook, I felt a fresh perspective scheduling its arrival. Uncertainty and insight coalesced within me, deepening the inquiry of my journey. It was clear that the answers would not emerge all at once. Instead, they would require patience, exploration, and a commitment to witnessing the beautiful complexities of my own story. As I left the edge of the brook, the air felt charged with an energy that seemed to whisper of new revelations. The gentle rustle of leaves created a symphony of anticipation, as if the forest itself was alive with secrets I was yet to uncover. My journey led me deeper into the woods, and the sunlight gradually shifted, casting long shadows that danced like spirits frolicking among the trees. With each step forward, I became increasingly aware of the little things: the flutter of a butterfly brushing past my cheek, the sound of twigs cracking underfoot, and the sweet scent of moss infused with damp earth. These moments resonated within me, awakening the childlike sense of wonder that had long been buried beneath the weight of expectations. In a clearing, I encountered a circular arrangement of stones, worn smooth by time and elements. Each stone seemed imbued with history, a sentinel bearing silent witness to rituals and prayers of those who had come before me. I couldn't resist the urge to sit among them, to ground myself amidst the collective energy of all that had transpired in this sacred space. I closed my eyes and let my senses expand, a sensation akin to a pulse thrummed beneath me, connecting me to the earth itself. It felt as though the stone circle was a map guiding me to uncharted territories within my own soul, a place where I could confront the hidden prophecies looming just below the surface of consciousness. I began to breathe in harmony with the rhythm of life surrounding me. Suddenly, a vision engulfed my mind, not a disjointed collection of images, but a tapestry woven with symbols and echoes from the past, present, and even distant futures. I found myself amidst a crowd, faces unknown yet familiar, adorned with intricate ceremonial garb. They sang in unison, their voices blending into a glorious chant that reverberated through the very fabric of existence. Buried within this melody were truths aching to be acknowledged. I understood, then, that our lives were interconnected, each thread woven into a broader experience where every action, every choice echoed through the universe. The weight of our decisions rippled outward, affecting others in ways we often failed to see. But there, amid my fellow celebrants, stood the frog, its gaze piercing, reminding me that transformation and growth often required us to step into the unknown. As the vision faded, I opened my eyes to the physical world, aware once again of the stones surrounding me. Sitting there, I pondered the nature of prophecy, how it could be seen as a warning, a beacon, or even a nudge toward potential futures. Perhaps the true purpose of these visions was to serve as invitations to align with our deepest selves, to trust in the flow of existence, and to reclaim our sacred narratives. A breeze rustled through the clearing, carrying with it the scent of wildflowers, delicate yet resilient. I recognized this refrain as a calling, urging me to not only reflect but to act. The juxtaposition of light and dark, of certainty and ambiguity, and of fear and courage demanded attention. What path would I carve through this beautiful entanglement of life? I felt compelled to rise, to move forward with intention. Leaving the stone circle behind, I set forth with a newfound clarity, yet the pulse of questions within me remained. Would I heed the whispers urging me to embrace not just the light but the laden layers of my being? As a traveler on this sacred journey, What would I create when faced with the echoes of my past and the possibilities of the future? And so, I walked on, cradling these unresolved reflections close to my heart, eager for the next sign, but left with the exhilarating uncertainty of what lay ahead. Would the wisdom I sought emerge from the darkness, revealing the hidden prophecies lying in wait, ready to be unearthed? I was certain of only one thing: each step was another stitch woven into the sacred fabric of my story. As I ventured further into the embrace of the forest, life around me shifted into an unexpected cadence. The sunlight mingled with shadows as I followed a path that twisted like a river through the dense foliage, reminding me of the intricate paths our thoughts often navigate. With each step, I felt both momentum and trepidation, a delicate dance between the known and the enigmatic. The air grew richer, infused with the substances of decay and bloom, hinting at cycles of existence that transcended mere survival. Choosing to proceed, I began to listen more intently, not only with my ears but with an openness that allowed every sound to seep into my essence. Suddenly, the distant call of a raven echoed through the trees, its resonance holding a strange familiarity. It seemed like an invitation, one that beckoned me to delve deeper into the significance of this moment. As I approached a cluster of cedar trees, their towering presence startled me. They loomed like guardians of ancient mysteries, their trunks gnarled with age and wisdom. Amongst them, nestled in a nook, was a small altar of sorts, an arrangement of twigs, stones, and vibrant leaves that appeared to pulsate with energy. Gossamer threads hung like silken curtains, shimmering in the gentle light filtering through the branches above. Intrigued, I knelt to examine the altar more closely, my fingers tracing the delicate outline of each item. This felt like a calling from the earth itself, a testament to the lives that had nourished it with offerings of gratitude and supplication. Suddenly, a soft rustling drew my attention to a movement. There, just beyond the altar, sat a fox, its coat of brilliant rust illuminated against the forest backdrop. Our eyes met, a silent exchange filled with secrets and recognition. In that instant, I recalled traditional teachings of animal spirits, how they often serve as guides on our journeys, reminding us of our instincts and the harmony required to navigate the unseen world that calls us. The fox glanced knowingly behind it, and in that direction lay a path shrouded in shadow. It turned its gaze back to me, inviting me to consider the choices that lie hidden within obscurity. Inspired by this encounter, I rose and allowed my instincts to propel me toward the shadowy trail. As I walked, the ambience shifted, the vibrant chatter of the forest yielding to an unusual stillness, as if the world were holding its breath, waiting. The further I traveled, the thicker the air became until it felt as though it was saturated with memories, both joyful and sorrowful. Moments later, I arrived at a sprawling clearing where the towering trees opened up to reveal a vast expanse of wild grass that held the remnants of an ancient fire pit at its center. Charred stones surrounded the pit like weary sentinels, standing watch over the echoes of laughter and sorrow that once filled the space. I approached the fire pit, feeling drawn to it, as if the remnants of the flames held echoes of truths long forgotten. Kneeling, I examined the scorched stones, and a vision surfaced, snippets of gatherings where spirits of ancestors whispered wisdom through flames. The flickering glow came to life in my mind's eye, illuminating faces illuminated by firelight, sharing stories that transcended time and space. The songs of their prayers intertwined with my own, creating a profound resonance that spiraled within me. Realizing this place was not merely a remnant of the past but a sacred portal connecting me to a lineage that awaited recognition, a wave of reverence washed over me. In silence, I recalled the importance of honoring our ancestors. Each breath I took intermingled with their struggles and triumphs, emotions swirling together like smoke rising skyward, a reminder that while their stories spoke of the past, they also urged me to weave my own narrative in the present. As I stood in the clearing, contemplating the ties that bound me to my past, a sudden thought washed over me, a question lingering just on the edge of consciousness: how do we honor the wisdom passed down through generations while forging our own destinies? In our quest for self-discovery, what role do our family's unspoken legacies play in the choices we make? With a deep inhale, I felt the weight of these questions settle within me like a promise. I knew I had merely scratched the surface of understanding the hidden prophecies that lay dormant within. Each revelation felt like a piece of a puzzle yet to be assembled, a sacred mystery inviting me deeper into the folds of my story. I felt compelled to leave the clearing, yet the unanswered questions pursued me, promising that the journey ahead, with all its uncertainties, would be another step into the depths of awakening. With each step I took, I left behind an echo of my thoughts, an offering to the forest. I walked on, attuned to the song of creation and destruction, longing for the revelation that would finally illuminate the path before me. Was I on the verge of a deeper understanding, and how would I embrace the responsibility of weaving my essence into the grand tapestry of existence? I ventured forth, eager for the signs, while knowing that time alone would reveal the answers waiting patiently in the silence. As I continued to navigate the forest's embrace, my senses heightened with each step I took upon the soft, moss-covered ground. The thick canopy overhead filtered the sunlight into a gentle glow, illuminating sporadic patches of wildflowers that danced like memories fluttering in the breeze. I could feel the weight of anticipation settling in my bones, a spark igniting within me as I pondered the echoes of my ancestors' laughter and wisdom. The path wound around ancient oaks whose gnarled limbs seemed to stretch out in both welcome and warning. The forest became a living tapestry, where each sound and shadow held a lesson, and I was its eager pupil, ready to absorb the knowledge that the world around me had to impart. Suddenly, a vivid flash of color caught my eye. A bright orange butterfly flitted near, pausing momentarily on a leaf before dancing onward. Intrigued, I followed its path, letting it lead me deeper into the woods. Butterflies, often symbols of transformation, sparked a contemplation within. What metamorphosis awaited me? Would I emerge from this journey resembling my former self, or would I be reborn, shedding layers I once thought defined me? In this quest for understanding, could I tap into the delicate wisdom these creatures embodied? After several moments, the butterfly landed on a particularly vibrant flower, and as I approached, I noticed the ground beneath it glittering with what appeared to be small, polished stones, each unique in shape and hue. Kneeling, I traced my fingers over them, feeling pulsating energy flowing from their smooth surfaces, a palpable connection to the earth. As I examined the stones, I realized they were akin to forgotten words left unspoken, waiting for someone to uncover their meanings. Then, unexpectedly, a low, rhythmic drumming sound broke through the stillness of the forest. It resonated like a heartbeat, insistent and raw, drawing me away from the flower and the stones. Compelled by curiosity, I followed the rhythm, transported by its calling. The steady pulse guided me through the dense foliage until it led me toward a clearing I had yet to discover. There, surrounded by a circle of ancient stones standing boldly like silent witnesses, was a gathering of figures swaying in a trance of devotion. Clad in flowing robes of earth tones, they moved with intention, embodying a dance that appeared both sacred and primal. The fire at the center blazed brightly, illuminating their features momentarily as they chanted, their voices merging with the earth's pulse. My heart quickened in response to the sight. Their communion with the natural world felt familiar, a ritual woven from the same fabric as the ancestors' laughter I had glimpsed earlier. Watching, I felt the lines between time fade, the past converging with the present in a beautiful tapestry of unity and reverence. It was as if they were honoring the very spirit of the forest, channeling its wisdom through their movements and songs. As I stood rooted to the spot, I began to perceive symbols dancing above the flames, swirling like smoke. The shapes flickered in and out of clarity, revealing hints of stories waiting to be told. I pondered how often we overlook these signs, the sacred messages entwined within our daily lives. In the flurry of existence, do we allow ourselves the space to truly listen? But with that thought came a new question: how do we differentiate between the call of our spirit and the noise of the world around us? As these dancers continued their ceremony, I yearned to step forward, to join them, yet something held me back, a voice inside, whispering that I must first understand my own rhythm before merging with another's. Just then, a sudden gust of wind surged through the clearing, extinguishing the fire momentarily and stirring the leaves in nervous anticipation. The chanting paused, and in that stillness, I felt an unyielding connection between my heartbeats and the rhythm of the forest. As the fire flickered back to life, I reflected on the past whispers and the symbols I'd observed. I understood that this journey was far from complete. The stones held their stories, the butterfly embodied change, and the dancers conveyed a sacred bond with the land. However, the intricate dance of understanding lay before me. I realized I was a seeker on the cusp of a greater revelation, with the answers still hidden and mysteries brushing against the edges of my consciousness. I turned away from the clearing, carrying those unanswered questions with me. As I continued my journey, I contemplated what unfurling prophecies awaited beyond the next bend. In the grand narrative of my life, how would I learn to dance boldly in tune with the harmony of all that was, is, and could be? The path opened ahead, a labyrinth of possibilities and whispers, calling me ever deeper into my own awakening. As I ventured deeper into the heart of the forest, the air grew thicker with a sense of anticipation. The gentle rustling of leaves now felt like an ancient language woven through time, inviting me to engage, to listen. I emerged from the density of trees into a serene glade where sunlight spilled like liquid gold, casting a warm embrace over everything it touched. In the center of the glade, a magnificent tree stood, its trunk wide and gnarled, its branches reaching toward the heavens with an aura of wisdom. This was not just a tree, it was a sanctuary, its presence vibrant with the energy of countless seasons. Drawn to its majesty, I approached, feeling the urge to kneel beside its roots, enveloped by a profound reverence. I placed my hand on the rough bark, and in that instant, the world around me faded. My surroundings blurred, and I was transported into a Visiona tapestry of life's moments unfurling before my eyes. I witnessed my experiences, the laughter and sorrow, the triumphs and defeats, all interwoven into a single story pulsing with authenticity. I saw my ancestors, their faces illuminating the shadows of history, each one a guardian of knowledge and resilience. They arose, one by one, stepping forward from the depths of my memory, their voices harmonizing into a symphony of purpose. They were the echoes of my lineage, urging me to embrace my own shadows alongside the light, a reminder that every part of me, even the pain, held sacred lessons. As the visions danced before me, I understood, the quest for truth was not merely about seeking the light at the end of the tunnel, it was about reclaiming the entirety of my journey. The vibrant colors of joy intermingled with the darker shades of grief, creating a masterpiece richer than I ever imagined. This was the heart of the hidden prophecies, the beauty of duality. With each heartbeat, I became acutely aware of my connection to the earth beneath me, the living entity that cradled my existence. I could feel the whispers of the forest intertwining, and each melody spoke of growth through struggle. In my vulnerability lay the seeds of transformation, and a sense of release washed over me. Unearthing of my light was not in rejecting my shadows, but in integrating them as essential parts of my being. As the crescendo of realization built, a gentle wind rustled through the branches of the great tree, and I heard the soft voice of the forest resonating in my soul. "You are not solitary in your journey," it whispered. "Every step, every stumble, every triumph you embrace nourishes the collective essence of life. You are a reflection of the universe's infinite possibilities, and in owning your story, you honor not only yourself but every soul that has come before and all that shall follow." Awash with this newfound understanding, I rose to my feet, feeling as if the roots of the ancient tree anchored me into the soil while simultaneously lifting my spirit toward the sky. I bowed my head in gratitude, acknowledging the moments that had shaped me, the lessons they carried, and the love that permeated even the darkest of days. Then, a single feather drifted down from the branches above, landing gently at my feet. It was not just a feather, it was a talisman, a potent reminder of freedom and connection. I picked it up, cradling it in my palm as I recognized it as a gift from the universe, a sign that I was finally ready to unleash my inner truth upon the world. With a heart full of compassion for myself and for every creature, I turned away from the tree and the glade, my spirit alight with purpose. The path ahead was clearer now, not because it was devoid of obstacles, but because I was ready to embrace every twist and turn. Each moment was a brushstroke in the grand mural of my existence. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in glorious hues of orange and violet, I felt a deep sense of peace swell within me. I now understood that my journey was one of awakening, a journey infused with the vibrant energies of life itself. The forest, with all its hidden prophecies, was a reflection of my own truth waiting to unfold, and so, I stepped forward into the unknown, carrying with me the stories of my ancestors, the wisdom of the forest, and the understanding that my existence and every choice I made was a vital thread in the beautiful tapestry of life. In that sacred moment, I realized the most profound truth I would ever know: to live fully is to embrace the dance of both shadows and light, for therein lies the alchemy of our most authentic selves. And with this knowing, I was finally free.